So the motivation for today's video actually stemmed from one of the greats, Anatoly Karpov, a great prophylactic thinker. I actually never looked at a Karpov game before, which is crazy to say. I mean, unless he was playing Bobby Fischer, but then I was looking at it, as him losing the game. So I looked at a game he won today, and I'm going to look at a lot more games he won, I could say that. So he was very prophylactic in nature. He kind of just brewed the position until he was absolutely winning. So I know we've done some prophylactic videos today, but I have a cool idea for this one. We're going to look at a game where it just ends quickly due to a prophylactic move. And, ends, we're going to stop it there. It's going to be a +1 position. But there's going to be a lot of good stuff to look at in this position. So before I botch the definition, we're going to look at Nimzowicz's definition of exactly what prophylactic thinking is. He said it's a measure which is taken with the aim of preventing something which is undesirable from a positional point of view. Right? Makes a lot of sense. And the beautiful thing about prophylaxis is good tactics stem from good positional chess. But move order does matter. Right? You got to get the good positional to get the good tactics. If you try to get the good tactics like I do, then you get botched positionally a lot of the time. So this is going to be a Karas game, but it's beautiful. Let's get into it. Pawn to d4, pawn c4. So it's not so much about the game I care about. It's really about the prophylactic thinking that he solved. So we get a queen's gambit. I won't say that word anymore. Stuttering. So we get a Slav, a mainline Slav. We'll deal with the stuttering today. Bishop to b4, pin, kick the bishop gets kicked, and queen c2, still main line. Queen e7. Why queen e7? Well, with this Slav structure, what you want to do is you either want, or semi-Slav structure, you want to break with c5 or e5 in the middle game. So queen e7 supports both of those. Now, you couldn't go b4 here. It is a good move. You'd get bishop to c7, which is where the bishop wants to go, but white gains a great space advantage, as you could see. However, in this game, bishop to e7 is played. Bishop to d2. We get pawn takes, forcing the bishop to move again, and pawn to e5. Okay, he broke in the center. Now, white has a slight advantage, but how to prove it? You see, because if you take right away, which some people may do, the game is absolutely equal. Right, this bishop is very bad. You just helped their bishop improve, and the queen stands well here in the center of the board. So that's not it. That can't be it. How do you respond to e5? Okay, castles. And now, for the same reason, black can't take, because white's bishop becomes good. On top of that, you're lagging behind in development. So see, if both sides take, the other person's position becomes better. That's why they say leave tension in the center. Whoever leaves tension for longer. But that's such a generic rule. So we get castles, and now what? So in the Masters database at this time, this was played sometimes, and white usually went d5, which is a fine move. There's actually like a crazy line with bishop takes c3, bishop takes c3, black gets full control of the center, but then bishop to b4, and white ends up picking up material. All right, d takes c4, the bishop has to retreat. So white ends up picking up material, but black gains a lot of space in the position, and it's a very interesting position. Black is solid. So what instead? Well, after d5, some masters went pawn to c5. Try to figure out why this is a bad move. Well, it's a bad move because of the move d6, a clearance sacrifice of some sort. We get queen takes, knight b5, and black's position is very awkward. They can even lose a piece very quickly. Good positional chess leads to tactics. But what's the quote-unquote winning move here? So Karas was the first person to find it in this position, and it's bishop to a2. And what he's arguing is he knows this bishop wants to improve to c7. Like, he didn't just play like some BS improvement move with the rooks, like connect the rooks, bring them to the files, blah, blah, blah. No, there was a lot of thought behind this. One, b5 will not come with a tempo if black tries to gain space on the queen side. Two, black's bishop wants to improve to c7. Three, taking is bad. Four, them taking is good for you. So what now? Well, bishop to c7. And because of bishop a2, find white's next move. It's amazing. The move is knight to b5. You're exploiting the pin on this bishop that's now on the c file, right? If the bishop was on c4, this would not exist. If pawn takes, queen takes, if knight e8, this position is just not playable for black. Too many holes, too many weaknesses. So he played the only move, bishop to b6. And how do you continue? Do you need to move the knight? You do not. Bishop to b4. Threatening to win a material. Pawn to c5. Okay, black has to play that, but he's played pawn c5 and pawn e5. Typically, you don't want to play both. We get d takes. We get a simplification of material, and it's about plus 1.5 here. And this is kind of where I wanted to stop. Here you would improve your position. Black's position is not very coordinated, right? If the main message is prophylactic thinking, then I don't want to bog you guys down with the whole game. Kind of like when I was studying and I could just appreciate this position. Hopefully it has the same reaction on you. I'm going to be looking at a lot of positional games soon because it is a weakness. Pawn to b6 would guard the knight, and pawn b4. I said I'm not going to talk about the game anymore, and I'm following up with moves. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. I don't know. Did you like this format, or do you guys want to see the whole game? I will show a Karpov game where he was prophylactic throughout, but I hope you picked up something from this. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.